Clinton right now bashing Donald Trump in Philadelphia. We're going to continue to monitor this. This, of course, is she's trying to move past that email saga, but lawmakers still trying to make a case. Congressman Darrell Issa has been on top of the Clinton controversy since the very beginning. Congressman, give us an update. Where's the investigation right now?
Well, it's tending to wind down because this administration has made it clear they won't indict her for anything. They won't even indict people in the State Department that sent and received these highly sensitive classified emails. But, you know, this isn't new. All the way back in 2012, when the first letter arrived that would have caused anyone else to preserve the documents pursuant to the law, Hillary very clearly was happy to keep them in the basement of her home without even the State Department having a copy.
What about, I keep hearing scuttlebutt, and I'm not sure, that perhaps an investigation is shifting to the Clinton Foundation itself? Anything there? I'm not sure if you're dealing with that or not, but a lot of people are thinking that could be the next big news item.
Well, Charles, it's an interesting one because, yes, the FBI still has an open case on the misdealings, and particularly the misdealings in uranium deals and trips by Hillary Clinton that coincided with the Clinton Foundation receiving countless millions of dollars. You know, one of the interesting things in her acceptance speech is Hillary Clinton didn't want to talk about her accomplishments, but she did want to mention that she traveled to 112 countries. Well, in some of those countries, she was there on the same day that Bill was there. She was meeting with top officials. He was getting money from those top officials. So it's hard for the FBI at least not to take a look at that and realize that there's something wrong there.
After the hearings and the James Comey bombshells, Republicans promised us a follow-up. I know it's difficult. I know you've got a lot of obstacles in your way, but I do believe the American public, and polls back this up, on both sides of the aisle, feel like Hillary Clinton got away with one. Is this thing just going to fade? Is there any way to make a last stand, any sort of procedural things, at least keep it in the public eye so that the public understands what happened here and maybe if there was a major travesty of justice?
Well, the ultimate indictment of Hillary Clinton is that she has 65 to 70% of the population know she's not trustworthy, and many of those people who would otherwise vote for her won't. This is an example of somebody who has experience but not accomplishment, who has traveled but in fact not traveled and accomplished anything. And I think ultimately somebody who after 40 years wants us to believe that she's an instrument for change. At the same time, she's embracing the president and saying, I'm going to keep doing what he's doing. Well, none of that really rings with the voter. So I think the indictment she gets will be from the American people. Having said that, there are things that Congress needs to do, and they're much more institutional. We need to change parts of the system so this can't happen again. After Brian Terry was killed in Fast and Furious, we sent requests for documents, and famously Eric Holder became the first Attorney General in history to be held in contempt by the Congress. Well, you know, we still don't have all of those documents, although we do have some that show obstruction of justice by the former Attorney General. Hillary Clinton, in the same way, promised cooperation and then obstructed justice. Congress can, in fact, send laws to the president, inside must-pass bills, that would give it greater authority to get information sooner, and then if there's criminal wrongdoing, beef up the statute that allowed us to refer, for example, Lois Lerner for criminal prosecution and not have it criminally prosecuted. So there are changes, but I think the American people have to look to Congress and say, what are your solutions to keep this from happening in the future? Because we know that Benghazi, Fast and Furious, the email scandal, the IRS targeting of conservatives and pro-Israel groups, those are part of what we've proven, documented, and published. Now what we need to do is really get serious on the kind of changes so the American people can believe in their government again.
It's interesting that you say that despite the congressional approval rating. I agree with you. I think the American public is looking to you, to Congress now, to sort of find a way to get rid of all these loopholes so that the next FBI director can't say he didn't know how to interpret a 100-year-old statute and things like that. Congressman Issa, thank you very much.